Frank Martin really out here doing things for the children. Let's talk.
Push the weight and now flex. The live is one in the six. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let's talk about it, man. His brother Frank Martin in for the most important fight in his career in the ring. I don't want to say the most important fight of his life because it's really not. It's really not the like the most important fight of his life. It's because you don't know what kind of trials and tribulations he may go through later on. But in the ring, yes. Read bits and pieces of an article from Boxing Scene. I'll put the link in the description. But there were some things that he said in this article that it's making me appreciate him that much more. Now, first and foremost, if you follow my channel, you know where I stand in reference to this matchup in particular. Tank Davis in particular, as a person, as a human being. I am completely not impressed with Tank Davis' behavior. I'm not impressed. I'm turned off as a supporter. I used to support the kid. I stood in the pocket and supported him when I felt it was the right thing to do. One of the things was, the thing he went through with the mother of his child. That was a disgusting thing that she did, and I called it attempted deleting. Whenever a black woman calls the police on a black man, it's clear what she wants to happen to him. And in a fit of rage, when she's immature, but when when two immature people procreate, what do you got? You got chaos. And luckily he kept his cool. At least someone taught him how to do that, and it worked out for the better for him. But there was various things that Tank Davis has gone through, as far as like the thing at the basketball game, and then the car accident where he left the scene and the woman was pregnant that was involved in the accident. It was crazy. And it gets to the point where I get exhausted trying to come to the defense of these athletes in my community, the black community. It gets exhausting trying to defend foolishness. And I'm just not going to do it. I refuse to do it. I'm not going to do it. And the last straw was, to me, him converting to Islam was an awful play. And I firmly believe at this point he was trying to look good to in his legal situation. As you remember, he still had the ankle bracelet on, and he converted to Islam, and then he bought some houses on the block. And I think that was to show the judge that he was making a change in his life. And I'm gonna tell you something, I supported him for that. And all I remember saying was, I hope this thing is thorough with Tank Davis. And he changed his name to Abdul Wahid, if y'all even remember that. And turns right around and he treats Devin Haney a certain way. He's still on Twitter talking spicy and very disrespectful. And what made it worse is that Devin is supposed to be his Muslim brother. You understand what I'm saying? And I have to explain, because some of you might be finding me for the first time. I have to explain, this is why I don't deal with Tank Davis. Did I say he's trash in the ring? No, I'm not saying that. This fight against Frank Martin, I mean, look, Frank Martin is the underdog, and I agree with that. Frank could go in there and get knocked out. That can happen. But I'm letting you know right now, there's a big chance that he could win. And I'm not even going to call it an upset if he does win. And I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not hiding anything. I'm rooting for Frank Martin. I want him to win. Because Tank Davis has turned me off, because He's a scum of a human being with his behavior. This is beyond trolling. And the side that you took with this Ryan Garcia thing is unacceptable, young man. And I could say all of that without saying that he's a trash in the ring, because he's a pretty damn good fighter. And it breaks my heart that he has to behave in this manner. It's disgusting. Now, this is about Frank Martin. When I say he's really doing things for the children. He said something in this article, a couple of things, that gives me reasonable cause to believe that he is a real man. You go to a direct quote. He said, everything that I'm working towards is a lot bigger than me. I do it for the kids, and I do it for my family and friends. So that right there motivates him. I don't know what motivates Tank Davis. I know what he says, but what he says and what he does is two different things. When you're tweeting that Ryan didn't cheat after all of this evidence has come about, the fact that you had to DM him and said, "Yo, I'm out here protecting you or justifying what you did," or whatever he said in the DM. About a month ago, it was leaked, and then he said, "Yo, if you're out here lying, I'm gonna F you up." And then Ryan responded to Tank and said, "I'm not lying, bro. If you want to run it back, we can run it back, though, but I'm not lying." Well, Tank, he's lying. And what do you say? He didn't cheat, and then you get up there and start talking about, "Oh, well, it's the 3 days," and man, stop acting like you don't know how drug tests work, man. The fact you standing in the pocket for the sole purpose that you and Devin have an opponent in common, and that opponent you put at an extreme disadvantage, which led to you winning. You knew everything. You had people in this camp breaking up his ribs, and you knew everything that he did in this camp to the point that at the weigh-in, he didn't even eat breakfast that morning, and you knew that. He had all kinds of moles in his camp. Devin didn't do all of that, and he let him rehydrate, and he let him come in heavy, and the result was what it was. And then when you found out that this kid cheated, you can't take that. The world can't take that, which is why I think Devin's not only better than you in the ring, but he's a better man than you. Which leads me to Frank Martin. I think Frank Martin's a better man than you. Matter of fact, he's shown that he's a better man than you. That's why I'm riding for him with this fight, and I hope he wins. Don't know if he's going to do it, but I hope he wins. Something else he says here. I know that I can inspire others through what I do in the ring, and that's why I'm putting everything I have into being at my best June 15th. So he's using what power that he has to inspire others. I don't hear Tank talking like that. His behavior says me, lime green purses, black fingernail polish, me. What do I tell y'all all the time about these athletes and these entertainers not counting their blessings? What do I tell you about that? It says here, James also shared a perspective emphasizing his role as a role model heading into this career-defining fight. He says, I understand how fortunate I am and the opportunities I have been given. I also understand my responsibility to the youth in my community. They inspire me to be my best, just like I hope I'm inspiring them. Let me explain something to you. At this point, you can't root against Frank Martin. You can't root against this man. Now, I don't know if he's going to win, but I'm telling you, I'm rooting for him. So when you come in here talking about why I'm hating on Tank, I'm not hating on Tank. I don't have to lie on Tank. Tank Davis is an a-hole. He's an a-hole. I'm not going to disregard his behavior just because he's good in the ring. No. There's a lot of fighters that were good in the ring. But it doesn't negate the fact that they're a-holes. Once upon a time, Sergey Kovalev was the best light heavyweight in the world, and I hated that. But it was the truth. When he beat up Bernard Hopkins up and down that ring, that hurt my feelings to watch that. Turns out Bernard Hopkins turns out to be the biggest a-hole that we've ever seen. But again, when it was happening in real time, that hurt me. But this goes to show you, and this is a teaching moment, y'all. I looked at that and I said, man, why him? Why B-Hop? I really hope that he would, put a boxing lesson on this guy. He couldn't do it. Kovalev beat his behind up and down that ring, man. And I said, man, why? Well, it's never on our time. It's always on God's time. And what we know about B-Hop now, he's one of the biggest sellouts in the world. Now I could go back and watch that Kovalev butt whooping now and not feel any kind of way because it was well-deserved. We didn't know it at the time. Is this a situation with Frank Martin and Tank? I don't know. I'm not God. But I'm telling you why I'm rooting for Frank Martin, where I was 50-50 with this because I was happy the brothers was getting together and getting it done. But Tank has shown me who he was. He's not a brother. He's a fraud. He's a farce. And his fan base are the most weirdest group I've ever seen in the history of boxing. Well, it's been weird. AJ fans are weird. Pacquiao fans are weird. Floyd Mayweather fans is weird. Tank fans. You guys, no. I think you guys are beyond that. You guys are different. I could separate the two. Tank is talented in this ring and he could win this. But he's still an a-hole, which is why I'm rooting for Frank Martin. Because he's actually willing, he's really doing it. He's really fighting for something other than himself. Take that, Ryan Garcia. You do it for the kids, you do it for the kids, you do it for the kids. Prime goes to sue you. Now all of a sudden you're drinking Prime after telling us that Prime was violating children or responsible for violating children. Man, you guys are just something different, man. Salute to Frank Martin. All the best of luck to you, brother. I'm rooting for you. I hope you win. Don't care what y'all think. Bronx on deck.